Welcome to EN101. It's the spring 23 semester and my name is John. I'm your instructor. Since you're taking this class asynchronously, I thought it'd be a good idea to make a quick video and introduce myself and introduce you to the course. Well, here's a picture of me with my dog, and like I said, my name is John. You can go ahead and call me John when we interact. The best way to reach me, I think, is to come into Brightspace and click on this little envelope up here. You'll have two choices, either instant message or email. I always go with email. I don't check the instant messages. In fact, I don't think any teachers do. Now, there is an Outlook email account too, but I don't ever check that. So don't message me there. If you want to get a reply from me, the best thing to do is come into Brightspace, click on the envelope, send me an email. I check the Brightspace email all the time, so you'll get a fast reply. If you message me in Outlook, you might not get a reply. Let's take a look at our course. At the top of the page here, you'll see a course announcement, and I'm going to keep this thing updated. You should check it frequently. In fact, you should check it several times a week. Then below that, you'll notice I've got all of our weekly modules labeled, and there are some other modules sprinkled in. For example, we've got your papers, there's a help module, and even a start here. I like consistency, and so every single weekly module pretty much looks the same. Let me show you. Let's just go to week 2. When you click on a module, you'll notice that it's got the due date at the very top. I would say the best strategy for success would be to click on the video lesson. Every week you'll have a video lesson. I try to keep it short, and I walk you through what we'll be covering that week. And I'll even do an example of the graded work so you can see what yours should look like. Watch the video, and then, so you don't miss anything, use the next arrows over here to the right. After the weekly video, you'll always get a to-do list. This gives you a list of the tasks you need to complete for the week, and I even put them in the order you should probably complete them. You'll see my course is loaded with lots of videos, and I also give you the presentations that I use in my videos. You'll sometimes find supplemental readings and a few other things sprinkled throughout, like graded discussion forums and quizzes. We'll talk about those in a minute. At the bottom of the to-do list, you'll see some learning objectives. Don't worry about those. That stuff is for SUNY. Let's go ahead and click through this module. Notice the stuff on the to-do list pops up, like the sentence fragments video and the thesis statement video. This is a good one. Definitely watch it. Here's the presentation that goes along with that thesis video. Then, you've got a video where I go over the topic sentence outline for your first paper. Here's the presentation that goes along with that video. And finally, we get to the graded discussion forum. Like I said, at the beginning, you'll have a weekly video lesson where I go over the graded work so you see what yours should look like. My discussions are pretty easy and straightforward. Just start a new thread and post your reply. Once you're done with this, you're not always done for the week. Sometimes you'll have a quiz, sometimes you won't. So keep hitting the next button. For week 2, you do have a quiz. I can't open the quiz because I'm a teacher, and if I do, it'll give you all the answers. But you'll have a Start Quiz button. Now, anytime you get lost or disoriented in Brightspace, just click on Course Home. It'll take you back to that familiar home page with all the weekly modules listed. Let's go ahead and open up another module. I'm not going to walk you through everything. Instead, I want to talk about due dates and times. So, this is an asynchronous course, which means you kind of work at your own pace. Kind of. So, we do have due dates and times in this class, and I'm going to call this a Wednesday morning class. So you'll see every single graded assignment in this class, whether it's a quiz, a paper, or a discussion forum, will tell you when it's due. It'll be a Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. Now, written work, like discussion forums and essays, you want to get those things in as close to the due date and time as possible. My rule is simple. I'm in no hurry to close this thing and start grading. I've got a lot of classes to teach, and I've got a lot going on outside of school, and so it's not like I'm going to get right on this thing at 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning. I will leave it open for you as long as I can, but eventually I do have to grade the work. Your classmates want their feedback and they want their grades, and so the show must go on. Now, as long as your work is in by the time I do my grading, I'll take it. No penalty. No excuse needed. I will just grade it with all the rest, even if it's late, as long as the assignment is open. Now, once I get around to grading the assignment, I do have to close it. And once I close it, it's too late to get it in. You just have to move on. Now, I'm a creative and flexible guy. If you contact me immediately about a missed assignment, I can probably work with you. So, if you miss something, don't pop a gasket. You don't have to make a big deal out of it. Reach out to me. Let's see if we can work something out. Now, that's for written assignments. We've also got quizzes. Quizzes are a different story. I don't have to grade these things. Brightspace grades them. So, they've got due dates and times on them, but they're recommended. If you miss a quiz, definitely don't worry about it. These things will stay open all semester and you can take them anytime. If you miss one, you'll get a 0 in the grade book. That's just what Brightspace does. But just go take the quiz. The 0 will disappear and the new grade will pop in there. So no worries, no harm done. Now in my quizzes, you get 2 shots at these and I count the better of the 2 grades. Some teachers will just take the second grade for better or worse. I take the higher of the 2 grades. All of my quizzes are multiple choice and they're not meant to be too hard. So think of them as an opportunity to boost your grade. Let's look at some other stuff in here. We're going to go back to Course Home. I feel like that's the safe button. You've got a Start Here module. You're going to want to get on this thing as soon as possible. You've got your course syllabus. It's not too long. I recommend you read it as soon as possible. It goes over all the course policies. You should read the syllabus for every course you're taking. Now, there's a lot going on in here. If you have any questions about anything you see in this syllabus, you come up here and click on that little envelope in Brightspace and send me an email, and I'll do my best to clarify. We click on Course Home again, and it takes us back to that familiar home page. You'll see you have some papers scattered throughout your weekly modules. These papers are kind of like the weekly modules in that you can see you've got your due date and it's usually pretty far off in the future. You'll get a welcome video where I show you everything in the paper module. You'll get some instructions, a grading rubric, and even example essays that earned A's in previous semesters. Sometimes I'll give you some other helpful materials, and at the end, you'll get an assignment drop box with the due date and time on it. Remember, essays are like discussion forums. I'll leave them open as long as I can, but eventually I do have to grade them, so you want to get these things in as close to the due date and time as possible. I always do my best to grade papers quickly and give you an opportunity to revise for a better grade, so be mindful of that. Start checking your Brightspace inbox immediately after you submit a paper. There's a module here with some Brightspace and tech help. I'm an English instructor. I'm not an IT guy, sorry. If you get stuck with some kind of tech issue, a link isn't working or something like that, there's probably not a whole lot I can do. So I'm probably just going to tell you, hey, check the Brightspace help module or Google it. So your best bet, check the Brightspace help module first, then Google it. And if you still can't find an answer, maybe then send me a message and I can contact IT for you. As we scroll down through the course, you'll see you've got all of your weekly modules. And then at the end, you've got an oral presentation. Sorry, everybody has to do one. Doesn't matter whose EN101 class you're taking, you got to do it. We'll worry about that at the very end of the semester. And then you got a final exam. I don't like final exams, but I have to give one, so you can think of mine as a reward for making it to the end of the course. Now, there's some other stuff up here in this blue bar that's worth knowing about, but you can explore these links on your own, and I encourage you to do so. Get to know your Brightspace course, whether it's mine or your other instructors. Probably the most important takeaway. Number 1, know that your course syllabus is in the Start Here module. Number 2, when you go into a weekly module, start with the weekly video and use the gray Next buttons so that you don't miss anything. And number 3, anytime you need to get in touch with me, click on the little envelope in Brightspace and select Email. Hopefully this video was helpful. Welcome to the course. I'm looking forward to working with you. If you have any questions, hit me up in Brightspace and I'll do my best to clarify.